Our day started in Windsor, Vermont, about 20 minutes south of White River Junction.
Coffee time.
Not that our travel time was any big deal.
We have people that travel an hour and a half just to come here. I have people that travel just walking distance. We have a variety. Your comfort food, my dear. Absolutely.
Teresa Rhodes is the owner of the Windsor Diner, a genuine Worcester lunch car original, one of only a few still open in Vermont, and she runs it almost entirely solo. How do you do this all by yourself?
Motivation. I think of it as almost like a puzzle, or each day is a project and every day is different.
Staying open by herself during COVID was a special challenge.
I had a sign, if you come in, please page me and I'll come up. You know, I'm baking bread, and they would get their own coffee and they would just be happy that it was open.
Billy Nye can't imagine the diner not being open. He's been coming here most of his life.
Yeah, I came in after school every day because my mom worked here.
And your stool is still here?
Oh, God, yes, I'm sitting right next to it.
I'd come in every day too if I could.
Ready, ready, ready?
Oh,
Okay, honey, you're welcome.
However you approach it, Woodstock, Vermont is one of New England's most popular and photogenic towns. One of Vermont's best products is made here too, on the third floor of this unassuming little building on Elm Street.
Maybe we should check in with these ski resorts and find out what...
The Vermont Standard, founded in 1853, is the state's oldest continuously published weekly newspaper, serving 10 towns in the Upper Valley. On this morning, the staff met on Zoom with publisher Dan Cotter, who was traveling. Sitting in was the Standard's president, Phil Camp, who worked at the paper as a teen and bought it in 1983.
I bought it to pay this town back for what they did for me. They raised me.
Camp is also acutely aware of how punishing the landscape has become for small local papers.
2,000 newspapers in the last decade have gone down. 65% of them are local weeklies like our own.
What is it that accounts for the Vermont Standard's survival?
It takes commitment to the truths and the requirements of the real press.
I think that tradition has really come from Phil. They love it, and they will notice when it's gone.
We're the quintessential old-style hometown weekly newspaper that's covering everything from the select board, the Economic Development Commission meetings.
And there's a level of accountability that you are able to provide by being in those meetings that otherwise you wouldn't be, right?
Absolutely. People can pick up the Standard every week and know what's happening in their town and see it reported through the lens of someone that's following it every week and that is keeping them abreast of what's going on in their community.
In the community of White River Junction, 2024 will mark the 20th anniversary of an institution unique in New England, the Center for Cartoon Studies.
It's a school that offers a Master of Fine Arts or certificate program or workshops. Students come from around the country or around the world. This is beautiful.
For co-founder and president Michelle Ollie, what makes the center unique has little to do with its simple two-building downtown campus, one a former post office, the other a former department store.
I think it's a community. People who are very serious about their work.
An academic staff of 10 works with a 2-year student body of 50.
I've always wanted to make comics. I learned to read off of comics. What I love about this place is that it emphasizes creativity and pretty much whatever you want to do in comics, there is someone here who can help you do that.
Our instructors are active cartoonists, so they're actually working with people who understand what they're up against.
Popping into the school's Schultz Library, gifted by the estate of Peanuts creator Charles Schultz, it's striking the level of creative success of those connected with the center.
It's all student work, and then we have faculty work down here at the bottom.
We've had cartoonists who come here who have already been published in the New Yorker and who've already created graphic novels.
And in librarian and recent alum Natalie Norris, an about-to-be-published graphic novelist. So this is being published?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Norris's and the other library staff IDs are all, no surprise, cartoon self-portraits, fitting for a unique school that celebrates and sustains a vital art form.
its mission is really to explore the past, the present, and potential of comics. And I feel like we're doing all that here.
I am addicted to coming out here and plugging myself into Mother Nature.